You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Attack on Titan After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Attack on Titan After Show.
I got one question. What happened to his left arm? That's the name of that episode.
It's in the middle of that street.
They left it behind. Oh. Come on, you missed me. You missed me.
Joining us this week, the lovely Kia John Quick.
How you doing, everyone?
He spilled water all over his crotch, and man, am I turned on.
These are my notes.
They're floppy and wet now.
Oh, let's just keep going with that.
And oddly still legible.
And floppy. Katie Cullen also joining us.
Hi, all my buddies.
Back this week after a sad, horrible week away. I
enjoyed my vacation time.
I didn't.
Well, it wasn't your vacation time.
No. All right, and joining me as well, the lovely Megan Salinas.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys, I'm Dave Klein. So let's jump right into the episode. As we get a new group, we're finally getting to see the Scout Regiment and actually see them in action. We got to see them before, but kind of just heading off. And now we get to see Matthew Mercer's character now that he's not here.
Yay!
Yeah, wouldn't this have been the week for him to just, like, surprise show up and sit on the couch?
Oh, he'll be back.
That'd be like, oh, great, perfect.
Yeah, although it was really great having him on last week to actually have an episode that had Levi as kind of a prominent character. And it was great because we get a lot more than just, you know, his sort of introduction leaving the gate. We actually get to see him in action, and it was awesome.
Yeah, well, we got to find out a lot of things about him. So here we get the whole clean freak references we were making last week. Here they are. So yeah, he's a clean freak. We get that. We get the fact that he's a total badass in action.
And what's also interesting is that, you know, in all appearances, he seems like one of those characters that doesn't care about anything. But then when he's standing next to his fallen comrade, you can see that there is a big heart there. He really does care about his fellow compatriots.
I care, Megan. I care.
Oh, more water.
Another water
no more
spill. Enough.
Well, I think it was interesting because we see kind of what every single person, we kind of see the hopes and the dreams of people when they join the Scout Regiment. There was this guy begging Levi to tell him that his death mattered. Like, we don't see anybody else kind of doing that, but the Scouts, like, that seems to be a unique thing. They want to know that this meant something, that they're...
Was I of use?
Yeah, these are the people who actively put their lives on the line. Everybody, I think they mentioned that. I think it's like a 30%. Is it a 30% mortality rate, or is it 30% survival rate?
Casualty.
Okay,
so 70% live, which is not bad considering Titans.
Exactly. So these are the people who willingly put their lives on the line to be out on the front line.
Which is in total juxtaposition when we first got introduced to the Scout Regiment in that very first episode. The guy that was ostensibly their commander was saying that it's a useless venture. Everyone's dying and we still don't know anything about them. And that was like the first impression that we got of the Scouts, is that they just kind of go out there to die.
He might have been a little traumatized.
That's true. Although,
well, things are so different now too, though. 5 years later, where now
people
all of a
are
sudden
celebrating Scouts.
Because now it's like, wow, these are the guys who are actually trying to do something about it. Whereas before it was, you just go out and die. Now it's like, oh wow, this really is a problem. We need these guys.
These are the guys who might actually be able to reclaim Walmaria.
And that's exactly it, is that these are the people who are going out to reclaim our home, which was taken from us, as opposed to the people who go out into the great wide wilderness, the unknown, and knowing them get themselves killed.
That's true. So. That's a good point, because, they are back in Walmaria now as opposed to in the great wilderness.
So it's like, so every single time that I think that Levi is just a sociopath or like that he's some kind of like serial killer that never quite made it, he does something like that where he gives that very sincere-ish speech, a very sincere speech to his comrade, and then afterwards he just kind of gets up and walks away. He doesn't seem like haunted by what happened, but neither is it was like a callous thing where it's just like, oh great, I had to do that speech again. It was very much a, well, that happened.
Well, he's got a little bit of Aaron in him, it seems like, because he did the whole, your sacrifice gives me strength, I will kill all of them, I swear. Yeah. And then the guy dies. But that seems to be a common refrain.
Right, I was going to say, this is also, like, you're saying he didn't have that much emotion about it, but this has got to happen constantly for what he does. So it's just like, there's just a point where you're used to it. Right.
If you take out 10 people in your squad, 3 of them are going to be dead by the time you come back, and there will probably be 7 others with injuries.
On average. That's not even counting like the bad days.
But, well, yeah, statistically.
Yeah.
But bringing it back to some levity, that first shot of a guy just getting chewed on just in the corner, it's like some guys munching on a carrot. Was that not the funniest thing you've ever seen? I mean, seriously, it was kind of just standing there like this.
Wasn't that the mustache Titan?
We got a better shot later on.
Yeah.
We have a better shot later on.
What did you say? It was like the Tom Selleck Titan?
The Tom Selleck Titan.
That Hanj was playing with? Yeah.
But,
you know, black hair combed over and this big black mustache.
And huge
blue eyes. It's like, yeah, this is Tom Selleck Titan. We need a giant Hawaiian shirt.
Magnum P.I., the Titan.
I mean,
Titan P.I.
With the Titan was getting munched on, though, at least the guy had the inclination to do something other than just screaming. At least he was like, I'm going to stick my blade in you. And even though it didn't do anything, it just made the Titan be like, all right, well, now I chew harder. But at least, like, it was still more than just screaming. At least this guy tried something. He was like, I'm not going to give up. So that was, like, nice to see. So that's kind of the Scout Regiment. It seems to be that they are
kind of them in a nutshell.
Yeah, definitely. So... and we also get this other character whose name I don't believe we found out yet in the anime. The girl.
I'm not sure. Actually,
did someone say her name?
Hanj. It's Zoe Hanj. Or Hanji. Or
you're talking about the one with glasses.
Yeah.
You're talking
about the one with glasses.
You're talking about the one referring to Levi as Sergeant, right?
No, I'm talking about the one with glasses.
That's Pietra.
We got Pietra's name. Levi addressed her. I don't think anyone addressed Zoe.
No, I was talking about Zoe. No one. I don't think anyone actually said her name in this episode.
And actually, fun fact: Zoe is confirmed a gender, not a he or a she, a they.
Really?
Yeah, creator confirmed it.
Because it looks like a she. Oh, very much so.
They're a they.
I mean, like, like, you get a lot of, like, characters in animes who are very a-gender. This one looks very...
Straight up confirmed by the creator.
Huh. All right.
So they're they.
I don't know if they'll bring that up, though, if that's the case.
I don't know that they do. That's why it's a fun fact.
I genuinely don't know if they'll refer to them as, in terms of, like, feminine terms. That remains to be seen.
Well, the thing is, you can
what
get
you're saying is
it.
It's kind of a Titan.
No.
A-gender.
No.
I'm saying the A-gender thing.
Not at all. And you can get around that in the Japanese language because they have gender-neutral pronouns, but English only has they.
It's a lot more limited, yeah.
So we'll see how they handle that in the dub later on.
I wonder, like, I'm trying to remember why I thought of her, or it, I don't know how you pronounce it, but they as a she, and I feel like it must have been the subtitles might have referred to it that way.
Could have been, yeah.
But regardless, we start finding out a lot about them. And we found out a lot more, and like they're obsessed with finding out about Titans and like everything about them, and really in love with Titans and the idea of it.
And how interesting is it to see somebody not only like kind of play with a Titan, you know, as they're fighting them, but genuinely gush over them.
Yeah.
Like, they are very happy to see them.
In all honesty, for a minute, I thought they were related to Sasha, actually, because they look very similar. And they kind of have that really kind of laid-back, very happy-go-lucky attitude towards things. Only with Sasha, it's a potato. And with Zoe, I guess?
I think so.
It's Titans.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, I think, like... They're both giddy to the point of insane, whereas Sasha is oblivious, but I believe that Zoe she hit sanity going the opposite direction.
Came all the way around.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good to have someone like that who's so interested in Titans, really.
I mean, that's what the Scout Regiment is supposed to do, find out more information about them.
And at the end of the day,
perfect place for them.
Even though she's talking all lovey-dovey to Titan, she does end up murdering it and cleaning off its neck. Yeah, so she does some good work too, or Zoe does some good work as well. But that's our introduction to the Scout Regiment as they have to pull back and they have to leave because of everything going down in the main wall. Yeah, so this is part of when we find out this is part why there are so many casualties, is this elite group and other elite groups are outside trying to do something, and they're not here to help out right now with what's happening with the backup team.
Basically, the only people that actually have Titan fighting experience are, out doing their job.
Fighting other Titans.
Which this genuinely happened at the worst possible time then.
It's like some of...
There you go, Tom Selleck Titan.
It does match up! It freaking does!
So for those of you who are listening, we have 2 images on our screen right now, and we're flashing back and forth between the Titan and Tom Selleck's face superimposed on the Titan, and it matches perfectly.
It really is Tom Selleck Titan. Oh my god.
So that's why you need to watch the YouTube version if you haven't.
Well done.
This is why you should be watching us.
Yeah, watch the YouTube if you can, or just live stream. Live stream, by the way, every single Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Check it out.
AfterBuzzTV.com.
AfterBuzzTV.com. So after this scene, we go inside Titan's stomach. Speaking of finding out, which Zoe would be gush if she could do this. If only Zoe could do this.
Can I just go ahead and say that, like, when watching through the series, like, at this point, this was the most disturbing thing, in my opinion, that I had seen in this series at this point.
Oh yeah, don't eat dinner while you're watching this episode.
It's kind of gross.
Really? Because that's what the inside of my stomach looks like.
Yeah, this is end of Evangelion level horror.
I wouldn't go that far, but it was pretty disturbing.
Still wouldn't eat.
It's all right. Just to paint a picture for everybody, you're inside the stomach of a Titan. There is juices, whatever it is.
Whatever it is,
and
inside a Titan.
Dead bodies floating.
Yeah.
One of whom happens to be still alive.
Who's not Aaron.
And crying for her mother. That was the worst
awful.
thing I had seen in this show. It was terrible.
Yeah, I love Aaron's like complete and utter like denial and disbelief of like that this is happening, that he is in the belly of a Titan, that he is dying without even killing one. Like he just got owned, and like this entire time he's talking about how he was gonna murder all of them, and then now. Wow, worst possible situation.
Between Jaws and God, I mean, that was it.
And just his, like, kind of mental state in going from, like, this wasn't supposed to happen to, I'm not giving up. Like, still being that far in denial, even when he's in the belly of a Titan.
Which, good thing.
And
that's how you kill a Titan inside out.
It's just don't give up.
It's just don't give up.
Try harder.
And have a father's inject you with some weird serum.
Turn into a Titan while you're inside their stomach and rip your way out.
Yeah, so...
I've seen horror movies like this.
Really?
Yes.
Which ones?
Alien? This was like definitely...
Actually, this is Alien, yeah. So he literally busts out...
If a full-blown xenomorph had come out instead of just a little...
And then immediately proceeds to step on the nape of the neck afterwards as he goes to punch through a Titan's mouth into its neck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's...
destroying his hand in the process.
And the mental monologue continually screaming, I'll kill them all, I'll kill them all, I'll kill them all.
And then waking up.
Cut to...
And then we come back to reality, and Armin is just staring at him like,
because
that was the worst possible thing you could say at this moment. Like, just the look on his face, the only thing I could think of, so the tableau after this is everybody is like, has like cannons and weapons pointed at Armin, Mikasa, and Eren, and like you could almost like think that Armin was just like, no, he's cool, guys, he's totally fine, nothing bad is, I'll kill them all.
And then a half-coherent Eren who doesn't know what's going on or where he is just, I'll kill them all. And then there's this...
It's this glazed smile.
Just the look of abject horror.
Glazed smile. Kill them all.
It was a very well-framed shot.
Yeah.
That was a hilariously well-framed shot.
I was kind of thinking like a lot of it, to me, when Eren was a Titan, almost seemed like a fever dream. And it'd be funny if there's a giant twist after this where everything's just a fever dream. This is all just Aaron's fever dream while he's inside the belly of a Titan.
He wakes up at the end of the series and Mikasa's telling him, hey, we have to gather wood.
It's just one long fever dream.
Bring it back around full circle.
Oh, yeah, I went there.
Oh, that would have been funny.
You know, the sad part is, after as enough anime as I've watched, that could happen. We could get lost. We could end up with Lost in all of this.
I really don't want to generator gall this. I can't handle that again.
So, Armin and Mikasa are protecting Eren all alone from an entire army of soldiers pointing guns at them and cannons at them.
With Commander Psychobilly Freakout at the helm.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who left other people under his command to die is now the one saying, we need to kill you. We're pretty sure you're a Titan, and you could possibly pose an incredible threat to us, and we don't have the manpower, time, or overall wherewithal to deal with you right now, so,
I want you, everyone, to remember that that is his exact thought process. But I first want you to piss yourself and then start screaming, and then this is the mindset of this man going forward.
It's that process driven by sheer terror. Keep in mind that this is the guy who was afraid enough to abandon command and people whose lives were his responsibility.
And threaten his cadets at knife point when they were starting to question him.
So obviously this is the perfect officer to have in charge of this operation.
Exactly. But let's go real quick back to the interior wall of Rosa, which is where all of them are. But we've Connie telling the story to everyone about how they made it out. So now we're seeing all the survivors are back. So we get that Jean is back and still alive. Connie's still alive. So the people who we saw who actually got the gas, at the end, they've now made it back into the interior.
And Krista and Ymir are there.
Yeah.
So.
But let's Captain Freakout had said that people saw you emerging from the nape of the Titan. People saw you. Okay, the only people that we could see that saw him were Mikasa, Armin, Reiner, Bertolt, Jean, and Annie. Who made the report? Those were the only guys that could have seen it.
Was someone on the wall? Were other people on the wall?
I think people are watching from the wall. They're like looking out, maybe with binoculars or something like that. Because I don't see this happening without people on the wall like looking with like a telescope or binoculars or something. Because otherwise they would have been able to probably keep it a secret. But I feel like a lot of people are watching the carnage go down, like, from the wall.
Because all it takes is one person to go, there's a Titan that's killing other Titans. Well,
Everybody come look.
Everyone wants to rubberneck. It's like an accident on the freeway.
Yeah, so and then traffic gets really bad, and everyone's and we're like, well, we got to get back to Wall Rosa, but there's a traffic jam because everyone's looking at the Titan.
And it winds up with someone getting road rage and shooting at an innocent person with a cannon.
It's ridiculous. So exactly.
Life in California, ladies and gentlemen.
They're on the 405. This is all an analogy to the 405. So,
but yeah, there were probably a ton of witnesses.
So Hans is still alive, though. Bring it back. We'll come back to these guys in a moment, but Hans is still alive as well, and he's at a different part, kind of like, so they have cannons pointing down, trying to create a focal point, so they can shoot off Titans from coming in, and talking about what John had been talking about from the first episode, just basically naming that, oh, I believe in them, these three, because, and then you list off the Holy Trinity, or is it like, one's really smart, one's really powerful, and one of them has spirit. So yeah,
we've got spirit, yes we do.
One's a cheerleader, Aaron. So, back to the cheerleader. We've got, now we're at the cannons pointing at all of them and all that, and Captain Freakout going crazy. And I love that his question is, are you a human or a Titan? And Aaron's thinking like, if I answer wrong to this, he's going to kill me. What do I answer?
He straight up says,
I'm a Titan. Oh, no, that was the wrong answer.
Well, the first thing he says is, I don't understand the question. Because
he legitimately doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember being a Titan.
Right.
He doesn't remember any of that. So he's just come to, thinking that he's been swallowed, and instead he's on his knees, too exhausted to move, and there's a whole bunch of people who should be their allies threatening to kill them, and Mikasa threatening to kill them right back because no one's taken Eren from her again.
Because Mikasa's awesome.
Yes.
That too.
Utterly misguided at this point in time,
I'm trained to cut flesh.
And when it comes to a measured response, nobody's better than Mikasa. She doesn't have, she always knows where to take it to that middle ground. It's not, all out murder or do nothing for her. It's.
If anyone would like to see my special talent of cutting flesh, step right up.
And I do like how one of the other officers like kind of leans into Captain Freakout or Commander Freakout. I don't remember what his rank is, but he goes, "Look, that's Mikasa. She was there with the rear guard. She is worth 100 soldiers. Losing her would be a huge loss for mankind, because a part of this guy's argument is that, you know, humanity is on the brink of extinction. We can't afford to take the risk of you know, being a monster and attacking us."
Yeah, and then right there is the best killer you have.
But why apply logic to this situation when you can freak out instead?
No, he's already made up his decision that he's going to kill them. He's just either too much of a coward or too indecisive to pull the trigger. He's searching for some kind of excuse, and then he ends up with that question just doing an entire catch-22.
Yeah, and he finally comes to, you know, finally he just goes, "Well, since we can't prove you're not evil, we have no choice."
Yeah, because Eren answers the correct answer.
I'm
really
human.
tough one there. Tough one, but at least he got it. And yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, in that situation, if he answers Titan, it's just like, yeah, I told you he's a Titan, kill him. Or if he answers human, he's clearly lying, kill him. Like,
I'm a
there
witch.
was nothing, yeah. That's exactly what this was. It was a witch hunt.
Yeah. So they shoot the cannons at them, and then Eren has this memory as he sees the key flash by.
Oh yeah,
Mikasa
MacGuffin,
grabs
I like that
him.
moment.
Mikasa wants to escape up the wall,
Right.
so
They're
she
getting
grabs
ready
him, slings him over her shoulder, and runs for the wall.
That's some strength right there. But yeah, and then that's when
Adrenaline,
he
man.
sees, yeah, exactly. But that's when he sees the key. And then we get a little bit more of that flashback from before and what happened in that moment of the father with the shot. And it's like he starts remembering a little bit more that he's supposed to go back, according to his father, to the basement somehow and make it back. And then, remember this, but I'm going to inject you with something and you'll never remember anything.
Father of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
Father of the year.
Well, at least he was crying.
It's
he was
the
upset.
horrible anime dad club. Throw him in there with Ed Elric's dad and who else?
I'm sure there
are others.
Gendo
Anyway.
Atari.
Goku, you can put Goku
Yeah,
in there.
Goku's a pretty bad dad.
That's true.
Vegeta is objectively a better father than Goku is. Vegeta.
That's really sad.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Titans.
I think I stopped watching by the point that Vegeta actually had baby Trunks with him. So
regardless.
He is a better dad.
But I think the thing to think about is, like, because I've always kind of like wrestled with this, and this is like, you know, after numerous times watching it, I do think that injection is what gives Eren the ability to transform into a Titan. I'm not sure why it catalyzed at that moment, because that's like, all right, this is an insane amount of power. I should really put it inside my 9-year-old son, because that is the best idea I've ever had.
Well, it actually was. It saved his life.
It may only come around after puberty.
That's true too. It might only be acted after a certain age range, or it's hard to say if it's what caused the transformation or if it acted as a catalyst for something that's already within humanity. It's really, we have nothing to go on. We just kind of have this weird flashback. We don't even know where this takes place. We remember a couple episodes ago when Eren had the nightmare and he wakes up with the key around his neck, but we don't know where it happened or where Eren's father has gone since.
I think it has to be before they got to Trost. Like, but
Probably.
like, it was like they probably had, like, that on that boat, they probably had to camp somewhere for the night before continuing on and actually getting in there. Probably took place sometime around there is the only thing that I could think of.
Yeah, it would seem to be the case, and then that was it. But at least we get some more info on it, like at that scene in the moment. And then, yeah, there's some sort of catalyst that seems to cause Eren to be able to do it. And he somehow figures it out. And what he does in this scene is he bites himself, and then after he bites himself...
He bites his thumb.
He bites his thumb.
He bites his, like, hand or something.
It's like right here.
Right. And then,
do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
and then suddenly, boom, Titan appears, but this one's like a half Titan.
It's like a half-formed Titan.
One eyeball skeleton.
And
Titan.
a hand held out to catch the cannonball that had been fired at them.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. I actually don't think I noticed that my first time watching, but this time I caught that. I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that specifically there's the hand to catch it.
And that's when everybody who was on, you know, the verge of terror before now erupts into terror.
Oh,
like,
no.
They were
boy, here
everyone.
we go.
The situation was tense prior. Now everyone is panicking.
Now all of a sudden, a dry cleaner's just like, I think there's going to be an influx of business coming in really soon. I don't know why.
So,
Probably.
Yeah.
sudden Titan, bam. And that wraps up the episode. So next week we will find out what happens with this giant Titan that just appeared and where Aaron is and all that, because then we just see Mikasa and Armin, and Aaron's just...
Aaron's in it.
In the middle of the rib cage, I love, but like Mikasa's like has this kind of nonplussed face, whereas Aaron is very clearly
mean Armin.
Armin, sorry. I keep on confused. Armin
That's
is
okay,
very...
they're the same people.
Yeah. And Armin is very clearly like, I need a change of pants, please. Somebody, anybody.
But guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. Once again, I'm Dave Klein. You can find me on Twitter at @TheDaveKlein. That is Klein.
You can find me on Twitter at @TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. And real quick, if you like what we're doing, go to iTunes, slap us with a 5-star rating. Let us know what you think. Please leave a comment as well.
And I'm John Quick. You can find me at NowQuick, and I'll proceed to just repeat everything that Miss Salinas said. So going forward.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. And yes, please stop by iTunes. Tell us how much you love us.
See you guys next week. Later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily
No, I
reflect the
think I
views of
like that.
AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.